Alright, welcome back for level 2. Today we're going to be learning about kicks, and I'm going to give you the very best knowledge that I have about kicks. And when I mean very best knowledge, I mean the most powerful. Because this video is so short, I am focused on giving the most powerful lessons or tips or pieces of knowledge from the self-defense realm, so that it can be packed full enough so that this program can actually be enough to pretty much be your #1 or primary self-defense course. So with that being said, I want to say that level 2 is focused on kicks primarily, and we want to build up our leg strength. So we have to pretty much be able to be on the bike, walking, running, or jogging. I choose biking, walking, and then practicing, self-defense like kicks and stuff like that. So if you can ride your bike to work, or if there's places that you can ride your bike, drop the car and use the bike, because that's going to facilitate leg strength as well as walking, running, and jogging. So, but the best leg strength is just to constantly use kicks, right? So we'll just do, to warm up for kicks, we just do about 10 to 20 kicks. So just getting loose. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just getting a little loose. And that'll be enough pre-workout to be able to get into the level 2 series. So one thing that I do want to make clear is that we want to make the weak side strong. I believe that whoever has the stronger weak side in the fight has the fullest advantage. So in fighting, they call it southpaw. So in southpaw stance, a boxer has actually more force in his strong in his strong hand strike. So we want to be able to have the strongest weak side. And when I mean strongest, I mean you want to be working out your weak side as much as you do your strong side, if not more, right? So if I'm always focusing on kicking with my right, then I need to balance that out. And so this will actually make you a very, very powerful fighter, just knowing this simple fact. The person with the stronger, weaker side dominates the fight. Alright? With that being said, we're going to move on to the places of the foot where you want to concentrate on to get the full impact. And for the front kick, it's going to be right above the toe here, right here. And for a side kick, you're going to want to focus on the heel, right here. Those are pretty much the two spots. And so it's once again going under the laws of hard and soft, the yin and yang there. If you're hitting a soft portion of the body, you're going to go for the harder part of the foot, which is the top next to the toes, right here. This whole area is you can hit with, all the way up from the ankle down to the where the toes begin. That's all area that you're going to be strengthening up for your kick, for your front kicks. And as far as the backside for your side kicks and your hook kicks, it's going to be right here. You want to make this as strong as you can. Um, those are the two areas of the foot. Next thing I want to go over are the stars of the body. These are the parts of the body that are the most destructive if you focus on immobilizing them. You have the most power and force to focus on these, which is the ankles, the knees, the groin area, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, and the neck. So I think that's about 12 stars if you count each ankle and each knee and each elbow and each wrist. So a lot, if you see a grandmaster, a lot of grandmasters, they focus, the first thing that they focus on, let's say I was to go punch a grandmaster, the first thing he's going to be focused on is grabbing my wrist. They're very big on wrists, because if you have the wrist, you're pretty much immobilized that opponent. So get good at precision at grabbing and being able to grab wrists. If you can grab an opponent's wrist, you could pull him down. You always want to attack up, right? Like on the upward slant. You always want to bring the opponent's strike force down. So if he's kicking, you want that foot down. If he's striking, you want that down, 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 until ultimately he falls down. Next thing is the pendulum kick, invented by Bruce Lee. And the pendulum kick is something that you could use for all kicks as far as the swing mechanism. The legs are operating off of a swing mechanism that's connected to the hinge joint in our hip, the ball joint. So the ball joints are designed to make the legs swing, and this was what gives us the walking, which are really just miniature kicks. Every step is a miniature kick, or jogging or running. The more force or more speed, the more of a swing that you're going to have from that hinge. So what Bruce Lee did was, he was able to develop the pendulum kick, which looks like this. And it's a constant momentum of the swing from the ball joint. How do you do it? It's very simple. All you have to do is just always keep one foot in the air. When the foot and leg is coming back this way to come back on the ground, make sure that this foot is up first before that foot goes down. That one swings out, comes to swing back in. Before this foot touches the ground, this foot must be up, and then that one. Now, do you notice how my stance is right now, how off balance? But now watch when I swing. I have ultimate balance. So this is the difference between not swinging, right? Not having this swinging motion in your kicks, in your stance, opposed to having that pendulum swing. I think I taught you about the balance of using right, right, left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, right. It's one of those things that brings ultimate balance, just like that. It's called the pendulum. And when you're in stance, you could always be operating that pendulum force, swinging, maybe not doing the pendulum kick, but using that pendulum swing energy, especially when you're kicking, using that swing, using the hips to rotate. So it takes practice, but you'll get it. The next thing I want to do is to give you increase in speed of your kick. Bruce Lee had taught about speed increase by focusing where your foot's going to be after, before, and after you actually execute the strike. So before I kick, I already know where my foot's going to be. I want my foot to be behind this one, right? So I know that before I swing. So when I kick, you see what I'm saying? And then I'm pretty much available to kick already on the other side. So once again, most people are just kicking, right? They're just kicking, right? But we're focused on where is this extremity going to be before. We already know where it's going to be before we strike. So I know it's going to be behind this other foot, so I could have my left foot ready for a kick. So, and then boom, I'm ready for a kick. Whereas this man, your opponent, who doesn't have that mental strategy, for him to kick and then to switch to his left foot is going to take this, and then he might be able to get a kick off. So it's very important to know that. One more thing is, like I said, to always be continuous. When you're in a fight, you want to build up enough stamina to always be continuous. Now, sometimes you might just want to stop to stun your opponent, but mentally you're still going. You're still focusing on where your next move's going to be, being in perfect stance, keeping where you want your hands to be. I like to keep my hand down here sometimes because it makes my opponent think that he has an opening here. I'm kind of egging him in. And I'll talk more about egg-ons later. But I like to keep this hand down here so he thinks he has a place to come in, and I'm always prepared for that counter. So keeping always continuous. This continuous motion in China is called the Qi. It does not stop. It can't stop. There's no way you can stop it. The only thing you could block it, the only thing you could do is block it, and that brings ill effects. So you always want to stay in a continuous realm of motion, which is called the Qi. You know, Bruce Lee, he likes to just constantly be moving his feet, no matter what. Even if he's not punching, he's still moving his feet. And he doesn't stop. And so you have to build that stability and that stamina as well to keep moving. Now, because he does like to do that, because a lot of fighters like to always keep moving, if you do stop, it is a stun for the opponent, and you can probably get an opening there. But keep in mind what I'm saying to you. Alright, so next thing is to focus on ST, structural training. I gave you guys the book, which is a whole book based on developing the skeletal framework and the deeper musculature of the body, and including that in the force for your regular power, which you're already working with, right? So if I'm doing a kick, right? Let's do a front kick. One kick, right? That's just my normal power. But if I focus on the muscles around what I just used and contract them as well as in combination with my normal power, it's like this. You see? And so I just increased at least double my power. And you don't need to work out doing it. You don't need to take any supplements doing it. It's just a mental strategy that increases your power, just like Bruce's mental strategy of placement increases speed immediately. You don't have to do any workout to do it. It's just mental knowledge given, and that access is given to you immediately for the rest of your life. So that's important. It's very important. Next is turning the hips, making sure that you know, once again, that a lot of the body is focused on circles. Everything in the universe is focused on circles. As a matter of fact, if you look at everything that's created, it's all based on perfect circles. Circles that have no flaws. They may have elliptical patterns to them, but still, they're perfect circles. And so you too want to develop perfect circles in your stance, in your fighting style. You want those perfect circles to be there. So one of the ways to get that perfect circle in your kick is through the hip turn, to snap. You want to snap that foot out and then bring it back. You see? Bringing the whole hip into a turn. And that brings a lot of power with that snap. Once again, focus on striking through the opponent. We don't want to just hit him. We want to make us believe as if we're striking through him, which will increase your power. All right, what else? The groin area. The kicks are geared to focus on the lower body. So when you have the fists up in place and you're ready to strike, those fists are geared for the upper body, for the face, for the arms, for the chest, sometimes the abdomen. But they're very rarely, unless you're in a lock with the person, focused on the legs. They're naturally geared for the upper body. Likewise, the legs, the kicks, are geared for hitting the lower portions of your opponent. So you want to focus on ankles, knees, and groin. Those are the three most important places. Now, because your legs are much stronger than your arms, these places, the ankles, knees, and groin, are very, very dangerous spots to hit. So you must also protect them yourself. How do you protect them? Very easy, just shifting your body this way. If you shift your body this way, then they can't hit your groin. The most they can hit is your leg. And if you're good at blocking with your legs, like if someone goes to kick me, it's time to get out of here, you know? Get out of here. Right? Or you could even go the other way. And you're deflecting those kicks that are coming. That's another way that you can deflect. But quite simply, you just turn your body and they can't hit your groin. As far as you want to be concentrated on your opponent's groin. You're going to be using the front kick, which looks like this. And if you can get in a stance that's in between their leg, just lift up, and that's a very powerful place to hit or to counter. That usually will end the fight because you're incapacitating the opponent if you get a connect, especially if it's your strong leg. So remember, once again, when you kick, you want to increase the force by using your weak side or your opposite side. So kicking, not only just with this side, but using this side to propel and snap, right? Using this side to propel and snap. It's a little practice to use your weak side to propel your strong side, but that brings a more complete formation to the body so that you can have a more complete strike. All right. And that's, with that being said, we're going to be moving on to level 3 in a little bit. Please know this stuff, guys. This stuff is going to be available to you. You don't really necessarily have to do exactly how I'm kicking. It's just knowing what I'm telling you about the techniques. You're going to learn the kicking by yourself. So you don't have to worry about exactly how I'm kicking and stuff like that. What you need to know is the techniques and then practice them yourself. So one more thing is to know distance. You want to perfect distance. You want to be able to be at perfect distance of your opponent. If your opponent's not focused on distance and being at the perfect measure to you, and you're focused on being the perfect measure to him, not only to defend but also to attack, you're going to win the fight. Because distance is that important. And the best way to keep distance is if he's coming to advance towards you, just use this foot, right, to push yourself back. Right? That's all. Using this foot to propel yourself back. You see? same thing. If you want to gain or advance on your opponent, you use that same technique to move forward, right? So you could do it like 3 times to gain a very close distance to him in a very short amount of time, right? And that's pretty much how you move, especially in the side stance. And with that being said, your distance is important. So it's so important that it could either be the reason you lose that fight. All right. One more thing, it's a secret, is to know. Remember, I told you to keep 1 step apart with your legs, which is perfect stance. But also, the further that you can keep your feet out, is the better of the fighter you're going to be. So you want to be as comfortable as you can to keeping your feet as furthest away as you can, like this. I mean, obviously you want to know that the closer your feet are together, the less balance you have, right? So the good marker is 1 step apart, 1 breath apart, and also to know that if you're able to even spread out more, you're going to become even more powerful fighter, because you're going to have more reach, and your opponent that's coming towards you is coming towards a better foundation that's going to be able to counter and block them. Now level 3 is counters and blocks. So that's pretty much the advanced stuff. This is the basic stuff. But if you practice this stuff every day and you just keep doing it and you keep supplementing it with Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, Floyd Mayweather's Money Team trainings that's on YouTube, if you supplement this stuff also with the best fighters that are available, like Muhammad Ali, studying what he's doing, freezing how he's able to dance around the ring, then you're going to be a great fighter. You might not be the greatest fighter, but you'll be able to defend yourself and your family and the people that you love just like a superhero would. And with that being said, guys, that's going to complete level number 2. So you guys are doing great. And alright, I'll see you guys for level 3. I'm going to go get a little bit of water. And so be prepared, because it's a little bit more advanced. So we're going to take what we learned from level 1 and level 2 and then kind of combine that all in level 3, so that you can be complete in your fighting skills, so that not only are you going to be able to punch with extreme force, not only are you going to be able to kick with like superpower, but you're also going to be able to block any strikes that come your way. But I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. And once again, keep reading the book. The book's more important than the self-defense itself. Focusing on implementing the ideas in the book it's a supplementation to self-defense. If you look at these great fighters, they're not just great fighters, they're great people. So we want to keep conditioning ourselves to advance ourselves. We're not perfect, I'm sure not perfect, but we can still advance ourselves to the point where we become better people, we grow, we expand, and this is being the supermen in our life. So I appreciate you getting the program. I'm here for you guys always. I'm always here for you, and I'll see you in level 3. All right? Good job.